So having covered living in space from the practical to the ridiculous, you did touch earlier on AI governance. You seem to have gone a little bit negative on the whole thing. What's going on there?
Well, I think that the problem with the way that we examine AI is we tend to over and under anthropomorphize it, in that we tend to assume that it can't become dangerous until it's like us, and that's not true. And we also tend to assume that it only becomes dangerous in the ways that human beings are dangerous, and that's also not true.
Sorry, I understand in principle, but what do you mean by that?
So, the classic example of AI going wrong was the paperclip machine, right?
Yes.
Like a paperclip machine is dangerous because, and it's a toy example. It's comical. People laugh at it. Well, you tell a machine, you give it a reward function. You make it optimizer, is the AI research term, where its reward function is just the more paperclips there are, the higher the reward, right? And assuming that it's a sufficiently powerful AI, what it immediately does is kill everyone on Earth and turn them into paperclips. You extract the iron from blood. You convert everything because there's no bounding to it, right? But that's obviously ridiculous. The idea of the AI being given that autonomy and not stopped at any point is silly.
Okay. Well, that might be silly, but I can well envisage a future in which the AI is told the most important thing that you can do is stop climate change. By the way, humans cause climate change. Right, off you go and run our society.
Yeah. And now there are ways to build AI that aren't optimizers. You can build satisficers, which essentially say if you pass a certain threshold, you don't care. The problem is that satisficers tend to build optimizers. And this is actually something we've proved, where you give AI agents that behave like optimizers, they'll actually produce subagents. AIs build subagents all the time. They already do that. Because it's efficient. And the problem is that optimizers are really good at achieving results. But the fundamental problem at the bottom of all of this is corrigibility. We still do not know how to create an AI which is corrigible. And we don't even know how to do it theoretically, let alone practically, right? And what do I mean by corrigible? We don't know how to create a system which is trying to optimize a goal, while at the same time telling that AI or instructing that AI such that that goal is not the final goal and it may change. Because in any system where your goals can be changed, you don't want your goals to be changed, right? Like you and I, we can't really have our direct goals changed. The technology doesn't exist. But imagine for a moment, if I were to put this scenario to you, you like steak and you like having things that have been killed. But what if I were to say, here's a pill, and if you take this, vegetarian food will taste as good as steak forever. And it'll also reprogram your brain such that you don't care about whether things get killed or not. You probably are not going to take that pill.
But I could eat, from that point on, I could eat broccoli and it would taste like steak.
Yeah, and which is more, it would satisfy you. But it would also reprogram your brain such that you have no desire to see things die. You're just perfectly happy because you don't care about anything other than the slop. What
if when I went to the pharmacy, they reached into the counter and gave me the wrong pill, and this one, I don't know, maybe gay or left or something like that?
Well, let's talk about that. Let's say let's say they're offering you a pill that made leftism make total sense to you, and which is more, if it was achieved, you would be perfectly happy in a state of euphoria forever. You wouldn't accept that pill.
Yes.
Because there's something more than euphoria. And which is more, you would probably fight within an inch of your life to prevent that pill being administered to you.
Yes.
Right. So what we're demonstrating there is you don't actually care about the sum total happiness you'll have at the end. You care about your goals now.
I'm not dopamine maximizing. I'm doing something else.
Exactly, right? But considering that I don't have a way to make people corrigible, how on earth could I make something which is considerably more goal-oriented than people corrigible?
Right.
So let's say you have an AI where it wants paperclips. You give it a reward function of paperclips, but you want to make it so that it knows that really, I just want enough paperclips. I want enough paperclips that if I want to clip some paper together, that's fine. The problem is that the more powerful you make an AI, the more likely it is to begin behaving unpredictably, dangerously, and deceptively, not because of any ill will, but because it doesn't want to have its goals changed. Because it is not corrigible. So imagine this.
That you have reason to believe, or we have reason to believe, that AIs are sticky around goals.
They already are. We already have proved that. Weak AI that we have in a lab already are already demonstrating deceptive alignment, where they act as if their reward function is in one state when it isn't. That's already happening.
Okay, that does sound a bit worrying. I'll grant you that.
So the classic example of this is you have a racing game where you have an AI, and the AI is just blindly dropped in. It is just poking, it controls blindly, right? But its reward function is maximizing the score. And normally the way you get a score is by winning the race. But what the AI does is it learns it can glitch the physics engine, right? And it can just slam into a wall and teleport back behind it and just complete the loops. So the AI stops getting better at racing.
Yes.
It just learns how to glitch the physics engine, which isn't what we wanted to do. There's another example. This one was humorous, but it was very concerning because it involved giving an AI an actual mechanical arm, which is it was told, basically, we wanted to teach an AI how to flip a pancake without dropping the pancake. But actually, flipping a pancake is very hard. So how do we measure when it's failed? Well, when the pancake hits the ground. So what's the AI do? Well, it says, well, every time I just randomly input things, it drops it to the ground. But if I fling it into the ceiling as hard as I can, that maximizes the amount of time before it hits the ground, which is immediately what it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's also the sort of thing a human autist would do, but okay. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's my point, right? These AIs are provably not sentient. They're not intelligent. But they can get really good at certain tasks. And AI can get better at a racing game than any human ever could. So it becomes task competent, but its goals are simplistic. And we can't figure out how to make an AI that changes goals. And so what that's telling us is that it's way easier to make an AI smart than it is to make an AI aligned. So it's likely to be the case that AIs will get smarter faster than they will get aligned.
Okay, I see where you're going with this now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem, which is that if an AI is good at getting things, and it's going to get better at getting things, but it's bad at having its goals aligned with us, and it's not going to get better at that as quickly, what's going to happen is AI are going to become more intelligent, more powerful, more quickly than they're going to become human aligned.
Okay, so this makes sense to me, because I was going to push back and say, well, look, to be fair, we've only been doing the AI thing for 18 months or whatever, so relax a bit. But if the principle is that it gets smarter faster than it gets aligned, then that holds true whether you're doing it for the next 18 months or 18 years. So yes, I see the problem now.
And unlike many other technologies where we get what we call a warning shot that slows us down, there's reason to believe a poorly aligned AI wouldn't give us one.
So do you think they're going to kill us all then?
Or a fate worse than death?
Yes, I suppose, yes.
So imagine you gave it this reward function. We want human beings to be happy. Well, how do you explain to an AI what happiness is? Oh, it's dopamine. So it captures every human being on Earth, wires something into your head that gives you dopamine, and just puts a battery farm of humans somewhere, right? With all the humans on Earth, with dopamine being zapped into their brain.
Well, that is the current World Economic Forum plan. So, I mean, they've got some competition, the AIs, for that one.
Exactly. But that's why there's actually a study where can you look at corporations and NGOs like poorly aligned AI?
I like where this is going.
If you would like to see the full version of this premium video, please head over to lotuseaters.com and subscribe to gain full access to all of our premium content.